Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently approximately 1200, or excuse me, midnight Japan Standard Time. That's right around 2300 Philippine Standard Time here, and about 15 Zulu for those of you worldwide here as we continue to track Tropical Storm Bebeng here, or Aere International here, just moving east of Luzon currently. Actually, here depicted on IR imagery, you can kind of see the center of circulation here as well. Basically, just east of Apari here as well, and they're seeing a northwesterly wind, so that's kind of indicating that an area of low pressure is just east of their location here. And this also can be indicated on this microwave imagery here, where you can see the banding moving in towards the center of the system here, and kind of getting that banding wrap around where it's just showing the center of the circulation here, just east of Apari, as already noted. Actually, the city out of there reporting about a northwesterly winds right around 10 miles per hour there, and also just seeing widespread precipitation off across much of northern Luzon currently here, and also here it actually kind of indicates some of the higher cloud tops here just northwest of Manila as well. So if you are watching this here tonight, overnight tonight, I am expecting another good shot of thunderstorms and rain showers to move across the Manila metropolitan area here. So one of these outer rain bands to move through that region there as well. Also noting Bagasa still has signal force 2 out for much of northern Luzon here, including Apari, and also signal force 1 through much of basically western and northwestern Luzon here as well, and just basically across this region. But we're continuing to see them drop these warnings as well as we continue to see winds decrease off in this region here. Thus, by midday tomorrow, I'd expect to see those winds warnings completely dropped out here. But noting though, we still continue to see some of these outer rain bands move across much of Luzon, and even far south as Visayas is seeing some precip all the way off the screen here towards the south here, basically due to a good southerly outflow and northerly outflow coming out of this system right now. Off towards the northwest here, you do see a clear area here that's due to an upper level trough kind of suppressing that warm core development out in this region here. But towards the northeast and southwest, we continue to see those good outflow bands, which is kind of making a bad situation worse though. As you can see here on this satellite analysis from TRIM, the TRIM satellite, just showing some of these high flood potential regions out here, and basically the already moist soil on the ground here as well, caused by tropical storm Aere here, or Bebeng here, as it continues to move across much of eastern Luzon here, and eastern Visayas did see the highest amount of precipitation here. You can see in this video here just showing some of the flooding out here in eastern Luzon as well, and just indicating that there actually has been 13 confirmed reports of deaths coming out of here as well, and basically several injuries and widespread damage and flooding in some of these localized areas and low-lying areas as well that have poor drainage coming out of here. So that's kind of the bad news coming out of this system right now, and the really bad news, the hearing of those 13 confirmed deaths. But being optimistic, the casualty rate is lower than what we have seen in the past with landfalling tropical storms as well. But just do want to mention that basically prior to tropical storm landfalls and typhoon landfalls, don't ever underestimate or take these lightly out here. Always be prepared and prior to landfall here, and always make sure that you have a good plan in order just in case the worst does happen. I know we all wanted to watch the Pacquiao fight the day prior to landfall here, but just take some few minutes out of your time here and just make sure everything is in order prior, because these storms can really sneak up on you here. But let's get into the track on where this is going to be going here. Actually, you can see JTWC's warning on this satellite here as well here. They're going to be taking it just towards the southeastern portion of Okinawa here as well. And if we look at the streamline analysis, where we look at the overall background flow here, I do want to mention I think I personally disagree with them here on this one. I'm expecting it to go just basically towards the northwest of Okinawa if you follow the background flow rate in here, kind of taking off in towards the East China Sea here. That kind of matches up with what JMA is saying, where they have the center of their long-range cone here just towards the northwest of Okinawa. Now, if you're unfamiliar with tropical cyclones out here, and to the northwest or towards the southeast may not seem like a big deal, but basically if you do have a tropical storm basically moving off in this direction, and let's say it has wind speeds of 10 knots but is moving forward at 5 knots, that would cause a basically with that cyclonic circulation here an apparent wind over the island of 15 knots. Now if it takes place down here, a cyclonic circulation would actually reduce the winds down to 5 knots. I know those are not the right numbers, but just trying to keep it simple so you really kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. Basically though, we are expecting winds of 40 gusting up to 50 knots max as it does pass forecast the Ryukyu Islands. All the agencies do agree on that. And also noting that out of Kadena here on the base here, I know I have a lot of people from the American base on Okinawa here watching this. They actually are in T-Core 3 right now, and their weather agency is currently forecasting for a max of about 35 knots sustained winds. So they are forecasting for tropical storm strength winds on station here over Okinawa. So if I was in Okinawa, just make sure to tie down a lot of that loose, basically loose debris that's outside, lawn furniture, and any other items that are outside, and just basically tie those down or bring them inside and secure them, just so you're not causing any further debris or that could cause some damage and unnecessary damage as this tracks off towards the northeast here over the island in the coming days here. But also I do want to mention, and this is off of what 03W here or Bebeng here, is another invest area down here south of Guam. You can see it here on the IR imagery, and it's very disorganized and very weak here. ASCAT imagery does not show any circulation out of the system right now, and also noting it's south of 10 degrees north here, and it really has to get north of that before you see any development due to a lack of Coriolis force out here. It does have the sea surface temperatures out here, and it also does have a low amount of wind shear here. One thing that actually 03W is starting to run into is an increased amount of wind shear, thus becoming exceptionally disorganized out here. But this invest down in here really does have to get north of that 10-degree line right in there. Some of the models are kind of picking up on it one run, and the next model they drop off of it, and because you know these models do run every 12 hours, so they're kind of swinging back and forth here. So I would say let's continue to monitor this one here in the coming days here. Likely would see it swing back off towards the northwest here if it did develop into anything and basically follow in the low pressure here, following 03W here as that tracks off towards the northeast as well. So just watching that here, as you can see in this IR imagery, it is very disorganized at this time, so not something I would worry about too much. But that is all for today, everybody. Thanks again for listening to WesternPacificWeather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, you can email me, post them in the shout box here at Western Pacific Weather, or on the YouTube channel in the comment box below if you're watching this here. Also noting, if you want to discuss the meteorological side of this, I'm also posting this at storm2k.org, where plenty of people are ingesting some data into this. Also, plenty of people are posting their observations here in the Philippines as the storm moves over the region here. And that's one of the very, very useful things that coming out of this is when people actually report on the ground observations. And also noting, if you do have any footage as well, make sure you upload that into YouTube to share with the rest of the world as well. Very useful stuff. So thanks again for listening, everybody. I hope you have a great day and stay safe out there.